Fellas, in this video, I want to talk about why body game gives you badass vibes. Okay. And what I mean by badass, I don't mean like you become like a reckless dude or anything like that. I don't mean body game makes you reckless. What I mean by having badass vibes is you become this dude who knows himself, who carries himself a certain way. When you start practicing body game, when you get in the gym and start moving some weight, it changes you, man. Not just physically, it changes you on an internal level and how you carry yourself and how you show up in the world, how people see you, how people react to you, how people feel you. This is what body game does. This is what it's going to improve. All right. Why is this important? This is important because when you practice body game, you develop this badass vibe about yourself. This is going to make you feel more confident than you've probably ever felt before. It's going to tap into something so deeply rooted in you that has been asleep. And when you start lifting weights and start building routine and building structure, it's going to wake something up in you, especially when you start getting attention, you start getting compliments. It's almost like the energy starts to shift around you once you start practicing body game. Okay. I really want to just hammer this point home that this is not just about working out just so that you got muscles. Having muscles is a byproduct of the work, the effort, the intention that goes into this, okay? Because it requires some work. That's why most people don't do it, because it's hard work. And again, it's not just to look good in the mirror. That is a part of it. When you look in the mirror and you see yourself, you can be like, damn, I don't even recognize this dude. Who is like, you're gonna just see yourself and be like, I did that. I built that. I put the work in to get that. Nobody did that for me. I had to do it. And that in of itself, because it's not coming from a place of ego, it's coming from a place of I put the fucking work in. When you know that about yourself, it just changes you, man. That makes you a badass because you walk through life in a way where your posture has changed. You're more upright right now. You got a little bit of muscle in you, especially my skinny dudes. I am naturally a skinny guy, right? I used to deal with a lot of nonsense in my life. I used to be a functioning alcoholic. I was able to grow out of that. But I'm just sharing that to say that if you were skinny, if your diet is off, if you're eating one time a day, your sleep sucks, you need to start practicing body game. This is going to give you a sense of direction. It's going to give you something healthy to chase on a daily basis. Not even every day. You don't got to go every day, but a few times out the week. You definitely want to be in the gym at least 3 times out the week at the minimum. But that's what this is going to do. It's going to build discipline. It's going to build confidence. It's going to give you structure and something to go after. And it's one of the best things that you can do for yourself. And there are just so many things that come with it. I mean, so many like positive residual effects that come with practicing body game. You're going to feel so good about yourself, man. You're going to start getting more attention from women for sure, because they like a man with a solid physique. What I was saying about the skinny dudes, if you're skinny, you got to start lifting some weights. I remember when I was like in my 20s. So I've been on this workout journey like consistently for probably about 8 or 9 years, consistently. But I've always kind of done something in my life where I would always hit some push-ups or something. Or I remember I had a weight bench when I was in my early 20s when I lived in California, and I had a little weight bench that I don't even think went more than 150 pounds. I don't really even remember, but I was always hitting something. And I've always noticed that I got a bit more attention when I did that, especially when you're skinny. When you're skinny and you start putting on some muscle, it's almost like your physical form changes faster than if you were a fat dude trying to cut weight down so that his muscle can be shown. It's almost like the heavy set dude has to do double time because he's trying to cut through all that body fat. Well, when you're skinny and you're already kind of naturally lean, you don't really have much body fat to cut through. So once you start eating properly, getting some more calories in and lifting weights, your body is going to start to change faster than the guy who's on the other end of that spectrum. Okay. You both got to put in work. You both got to grind it out. It's not just going to come to you. But what I'm saying is, it's something about when you're naturally skinny. I feel like you can like grow and make gains faster. That's just my experience. I don't know. I just felt like I always kind of just always put on a little bit of muscle faster and easier, and it just changed my look. And just, I don't know. I just feel like that's one of the benefits of being a naturally leaner guy. I don't have much body fat to cut through. So if you're skinny, you definitely want to get on this body game, all right? And this is going to build your confidence up, because if you're skinny, you may be going through life feeling that sense of like lack of capability. You know what I mean? Like you just naturally feel weak all the time. And this is going to spark something in you. Start lifting some weights, man. And that's going to, when you start lifting weights, that drive, those results are transferable to things that you are going to experience in your life. You start to develop a different level of patience when you start working out. And it's kind of funny how that happens. You be in the gym, and you might, like, the gym I go to is kind of small. It's right around the corner from my house, and it's kind of small. So sometimes it's congested in there. Sometimes you might have to wait for something. Somebody's sitting there on their phone. I'm like, damn, I'm trying to use this machine, but you got to have patience, or you have to be flexible and be able to kind of come up with something else on the fly. And I know a lot of people struggle with that, especially from my personal training days. People struggle with like structure in the gym and what do I do next? And oh, that machine's taken. Well, now I don't even know what to do. But what that teaches you is patience within yourself. You wait. If somebody's using something, you can wait or become more adaptable. So that's a perfect example of one of the traits and the characteristics that practicing body game brings you. You become more patient. You become more adaptable, and that transfers over into life. You don't get so bent out of shape over everything because, hey, I've had to wait before. I've had to wait in line or something. I've had to wait for a machine. And that transfers to when you're in the grocery line, and the line is all the way backed up over here, and it hits that button in you where it's like, okay, this is going to require some patience. Or if you're talking to your kid, you might have had a long day at work, your kid getting on your nerves. It's going to spark and activate that level of patience within you that is required to interact with your kid. So you're not letting your kid trigger you and activate you and get on your nerves. And now you're reacting to them in an unhealthy way. So these are examples of how the gym and practicing body game, what you build in a gym bleeds over into your life. It's more than just building muscle. This is why you become a badass, because you become more grounded. You step more into your masculine essence. You step more into man shit. I remember when I was like in my mid 20s, I used to always ask myself this question, like, what does it feel like to be a man? Because I was so directionless when I was in my 20s. I was just more about partying, more about trying to get laid, not missing out on any fun, struggling to pay my bills, things like that. And I was like, what does it feel like to actually be a man? Now at 41 years old, I know what it feels like. You feel solid within yourself. You are confident within yourself. You know who you are. You know what your triggers are. You know what pisses you off. You know what sets you up for success. You know what you need in your life to have a fruitful day, a productive day. Like, for example, I need a certain amount of sleep. I need 7.5 hours of sleep. These are things that I've had to learn. These are things that I can't eat certain bullshit. Oh, I can eat certain bullshit sometimes. I could sprinkle it in there as long as I'm eating healthy for the most part. You learn these things about yourself. And the gym is one of those key foundational pieces you need to put in your life, because it is going to push you to find like your inner limits. It's going to push you to a point that you've probably never been pushed to before. But it's one of the healthiest things you can do. And it's something you really are creating this foundation for yourself. This foundation, like I said, of discipline, confidence, consistency, drive, effort, makes you go get it. This makes you badass. You're confident. You're grounded. You're not bothered by every little thing that comes your way. You're like, okay, yeah, you said something to me goofy and shit. All right, or I can address this if I need to, but I can also do it in a way where, hey, let me talk to you for a second, man. When you said that to me, it kind of made me feel this way. Or I just want to kind of address this. Whatever, however you need to do it. The gym builds this energy around you where you really step into moving like a man, moving in authentic, healthy, masculine energy. That's what Body Game will unlock for you, and you will become a badass motherfucker. So if you got any value out of this video, please smash that like button. I really appreciate it, fellas. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you know when I make more videos like this. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my playlist on Body Game. I got a ton of videos just like this that inspire, motivate. Also, if you want one-on-one coaching, I'm a self-mastery coach. If you struggle with discipline, if you struggle with accountability, struggle with even getting your ass in the gym, book a call with me, all right? But until then, I will see y'all in the next video. Make sure you check out that playlist. Peace.